So Mike gave me the controller. I'm gonna push this button and it's gonna be the end of the Avalanche. It's time for another Dirt Daily, and I am back in the shop. Behind me is a disaster that used to be my 2003 Chevy Avalanche, but I am tearing that thing apart and taking all the good parts to put into future projects, and taking all the bent, broken, and busted up parts and putting them on the trailer to go to the junkyard. But first, this episode is brought to you by onX Off-Road. onX Off-Road is a mapping app. You put it on your phone. You have to pay for a subscription. There's different levels of subscriptions. One of the levels, the top level, gives you a bunch of added features, plus you get discounts with other off-road companies. And it's a great app. I use it a lot. I don't really want to promote stuff that I wouldn't use. And I do use the onX app. In fact, the people from onX, they renewed my subscription for another year, my influencer discount code, I guess is what it really is. And you guys get a discount if you want to use that, and the discount code is in the description below. They said I am one of the best returns on investment, which means A, I'm dirt cheap for them to collaborate with, and B, a lot of you are signing up. So thank you very much for signing up if you have signed up for the onX Off-Road. And if you're interested in signing up for it, check out the discount code below. I just heard a really weird noise in my shop. It sounded like a kitty cat. I wonder if there's a kitty cat in here. But today I am going to continue tearing this apart, get all the good stuff out of it, chop it up, get it on the trailer so it can go away to the junkyard. And I'll give you a couple updates on some other projects that I have around here. And maybe I will even tell you where some of the parts from the Avalanche are going to go by the end of the episode. All right, let's get to work. There is a kitty cat in here. Let's go see if we can find it. Meow, meow, meow. What the heck are you doing in here? Baxter is not going to like it when he sees you. You probably shouldn't be here. Oh boy, I can hear him already. We're going to have a problem. Hi, kitty. You seem like a nice kitty cat. I'm glad you're here. I hope you're eating the mice that are hiding out in my clampy truck. But I can tell you, when Baxter finds you, you're going to be in trouble, big trouble. Oh boy. Here he comes. Yeah, you are going to get in trouble when the guard dog finds you. Dogs and cats are all sorted out. The cat is out. Let's move back onto the frame of the Avalanche. I started with the front axle and I disconnected everything that attaches to the frame that goes to the front axle. The front sway bar came off. The steering box is no longer on the frame. All the rear links that bolted to the chassis, I disconnected all of those. The coilovers and the shock mounts that were all on here, which is a really cool kit. This was all part of a solid axle conversion kit from Fabworks. And I don't know that they still make those, but a lot of those parts are still good. The links are still good. The shock mounts are still good. All of these pieces. Will I do a solid axle conversion to something with that in the future? I don't know. But for now, I want to keep this axle. It's a Dynatrac front axle. It's got really nice axle shafts from CTM. It's got 300N axle shafts and CTM joints. Has a Detroit locker, and I believe it's at 488 gears. So, all of this front axle is good stuff to keep, and I want to save that, but I need to get it out of here and out of the way because it's not really the priority. But I just left everything bolted to the axle, and there's a few things that I want to cut off of the frame. I want to cut the motor mounts off of the frame because I'm going to reuse the 8.1. I may reuse the factory motor mounts. I don't know about chassis width on whatever it's going into, but if I lob these off really tight to the frame, maybe I can modify them and use them on the next vehicle. The center cross member, where it has the transmission mount, transfer case mount, I don't know if that's going to be useful or not, but if I can cut it off and have a big chunk of metal that has the bolt pattern right, and maybe I modify that to go onto a future cross member on something else, that would be valuable. It might save me some time. It might not. It might be total junk. But if I take it off now, and when I scrap the frame, then I have it thrown over in the scrap pile, and maybe I'll use it in the future. And finally, moving on to the rear end of the Avalanche frame. The rear axle is a 14 bolt. It's a newer style. It has disc brakes. It also has an ARB air locker and 488 gears. It has spring under Deaver springs, which are these big, long, super flexy springs. It also has some King bypass shocks, which maybe I'll use on a future project. Maybe I'll use all this together. Maybe I'll put it all under another Chevy truck, or maybe I'll cut it all out and use different parts on different things. Speaking of cutting it up, I want to keep the rear bumper. This might be the dumbest thing about it, but it's just a clean, simple design. Dave built this when we took the Avalanche snow wheeling, and I like it. It's just a piece of rectangular tubing, set at a little bit of an angle. He kind of lobbed the corners off, made these wraparound tubes with some supports so that if you smash into stuff, it protects the body. And I don't know if I'll use this bumper or duplicate it down the road, but I like the look of it. I like the style of it. And right now, I can just lob the frame off in front of the bumper mounts and throw it out back. And then I have it so down the road, if I want to reuse it or use parts of it or just kind of duplicate it, I have a piece to start with. So raise the whole chassis up, roll the axles in suspension out, get those outside out of the way, bring the frame back down, cut off the motor mounts, cross member, and the rear bumper, save all those parts, and take the rest of it and put it on the trailer so it can go get scrapped. Frame side motor mounts are cut out. Cross member is chopped up. Rear tail section with that bumper is lobbed off. I think this frame is ready to go to the junkyard. The only thing that's still on it that is probably good is the fuel tank and the fuel pump, but I don't have any use for that, so I'm gonna send that to the yard, and if they wanna sell it to somebody, they can. All of this stuff gonna go in the maybe use in the future pile. Well, it's time. The Avalanche is on the trailer to go to the junkyard. Got my little Chevy hooked up to it. Let's go see what this thing will bring us at the scrapyard. It's down to just the body. The rock sliders are thrown inside there. There's some doors in the back. Up front here's the hood. I thought about keeping the hood, but then I decided I don't need more junk. And then over there is the frame. Here you can see the frame kind of strapped on the side, precarious, but I don't think it'll fall off. I'm not going very far. Okay, Avalanche, it's good knowing you. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at it. Ah. Bye-bye, big girl. You were a good one. There she goes. Oh boy. All right, so Mike gave me the controller. I'm gonna push this button and it's gonna be the end of the Avalanche. Everybody say goodbye. There it is. So long, Ultimate Avalanche. You were a good one. Well, the Avalanche is gone. At least all the bent and busted broken parts. Time to put all the old parts into something new. That's it for this Dirt Daily. We'll see you guys next time.